This is so bad. Like, how could I leave that? But I used to leave it, so I'm just gonna leave it. Wipe it around. Oh my god, I didn't used to use this. Well, I've got highlighter on my rice cake. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It feels so weird having a mirror here. This is obviously how I do my makeup at the moment. As you'll see by the title that you clicked on this video, the side behind the mirror is how I used to do it. So today we are creating a really similar look. Obviously not this kind of look because I didn't know how to do certain features of it at that point, but the other side reveals what my makeup was like from age 14 to about, well, 17. End of November last year, and this represents the last few months. So I really hope you enjoy. Soph Does Life actually created this trend, so I'm going to leave her video down below. I'm sure she doesn't need recognition from me, but I'm going to leave it there anyway because that only feels right. I really hope you enjoy, and if you do, leave a like and subscribe down below, and make sure to follow me over my Instagram. And without further ado, I'm going to get straight into the video. I'm inserting a video here because, I've tried to film this in good angles. This is just how I look right now, so yeah, I'm inserting this because I did a competition over my Instagram. If you're not following it, then go and do that right now and click off the video and then come back. Are you done? Okay, so it was basically to win any palette you want, literally any. I wanted to do it so you could kind of pick it and give me a reason, like maybe you're starting out, maybe you just want to experiment, maybe you just want the palette, who knows. And it ended today, the day you're watching this. That's why I'm putting it in a video. I want it to be a makeup video like that I posted, so it made sense. I thought I'm not just gonna like announce that I want it to be part of the video because that's what it did say on the post. So yeah, make sure to keep watching. It'll be somewhere throughout this video, not sure where I announce the winner, and good luck, and I hope you win. But I'll be doing like different ones of this, like win whatever you want, and like you get the option. But thank you to everyone who has subscribed already and everyone that follows my journey on here and supports me and just loves watching my videos, because it means the world and I'm loving this so much. So yeah, I'm going to see you all soon when I look a lot more glam than I do right now. But the reality is, very productive days. Well, pretty much every day is a productive day. So every day I look like this. But yeah. See you all soon and enjoy the video. And it's crazy how my makeup has changed from then to now, and even from now to now. So yeah, I'm going to stop rambling because it's been 2 minutes now. So I'm literally don't know where to start. Got my rice cakes. Honestly, I can kind of remember what I used to do, but then I think I'm basically going to have to force myself to do it bad, because if I use the same techniques, it's not going to look how it used to look. So wish me luck. Here goes. I'm going to start with my face that I used to do, which is going to be this half. So I'm going to do that first, because if I start with this face, you'll see in the video that I didn't actually used to use bronzer or anything. So if I use bronzer here and foundation here, it might mix. So I'd rather start this side, as I'm going to try and remember how I used to do it before I bring in all the techniques into this side. So I would have used this moisturiser. It's the Simple Hydrating Light Moisturiser. I say would have, I didn't always used to use skincare before makeup, which right now actually disgusts me, but I'm going to do it because I did actually used to sometimes. So I'm just taking a stippling brush and just putting the moisturiser all over. It's so weird doing half a face as well. Like, not like I'm used to doing half a face on my Instagram, but to actually do half and then do the other half, I think it's going to be so weird. Plus, like, I can semi-remember what I used to do, but to try and make it look like it used to look, not really ready. I'm going to try and pop a picture here of the nicest possible photo I can find of my makeup when I used to do it, because sometimes I used to not wear eyeshadow, so it really wouldn't be much at all. But I'm going to try and find one. Next up is a pore filler. I did actually used to have the Stila one and the Smashbox, which I used to use before I started this whole thing. but I don't have them, they've run out, so I'm just using my NYX pore filler because that's the closest thing to it, and I wouldn't have used a brush, so I'm going to use my fingers. I didn't really have that many brushes, so I wouldn't have used a brush. I literally would have put it everywhere, so I'm just going to do exactly that. I literally just did everything with my face and with a sponge. So that's what I'm going to be using today, which is so weird. When I used to do makeup, I would sometimes do my brows first, sometimes not. As I used a pomade, which I'm really nervous about because I don't mind using them, but the way I used it, my brows were literally like this big. So I'm not going to do them as big because I don't personally actually remember how I created that, because obviously now I create them more natural with a pomade. So I'm going to go with it and use the pomade but not make them as big because that's how I used to do them. I'm going to try and make them look as realistic as possible as they used to look, but I literally don't know how on earth I got like such a weird, oh it was awful. So where's the brush I used to use? Don't tell me it's gone. Oh, it's here. So this is a Zoeva 322. I'm so scared for this. Like, it was literally horrific. I'm just going to go in with what I can remember, and I'm using the NYX in chocolate. I used to use quite a lot, I just don't really know how this is going to work. So, I know where I should supposed to do it now, but this is just me remembering how I used to do it, in case anyone... Because the thing is, like, how I used to do it is so different to now. Trying to make it look how I used it with the techniques that you use now is so hard. I used to fill in the whole of it and maybe leave the very front. But when I was a lot younger, I would, this is so bad, I would actually draw it like this. And it was literally out here, it was horrific. I didn't use soap, obviously soap wasn't much of a thing then. I just don't like this at all. I'm going to make it as literal as possible, like this is how they used to look. Obviously there were times where I was more young and they would be a lot bigger. They literally look like, not even like slugs, worse. I actually feel like my other side is going to look bigger but nicer. I'm pretty sure that is the closest we're going to get to how they used to look. Like, I really think that is. They look disgusting. So that is how my brows used to look, which is horrible, and I now want to do the other side, but I now have to carry on what I'm doing. So that's how they used to look, and now I'm going in with the closest concealer that I have. This is actually better than the collection one. This is the Barry M, but I don't have the collection one, so this is what I'm going with. As you'll know, this is going to be shocking because I do it completely different now. Just prepare yourself. Honestly, I can't cope. I'm literally having a meltdown. Who does it like this? I hated how I used to do it like this. Now oh my god, I can't cope. I literally used to do it like this, and now I use a mixing palette. I'm literally having a nightmare. I wouldn't have even know what brush to use. I don't even know if I had a cut crease brush. I'm going to use like a kind of cut crease brush, but it's not really, because that's probably all I would have used, and I probably would have just gone underneath as best I can, and I definitely wouldn't have patted it. Swipe it everywhere because that's what I used to do. Oh, it's so hard because I'm trying not to like pat and everything, but it's like the hardest thing ever. That's probably all I would have done. and I don't think I would have buffed out the edge. So I'm going to leave that like that and then go in with my eyeshadow. This is so bad, like how could I leave that? But I used to leave it, so I'm just going to leave it. So I'm using the same palette for both looks, but I used to use the 35R, which I actually love, but I just don't have it anymore because it ran out of all the shades. So I'm just using the closest nude palette that I have. It has actually got shimmers in, so I think that's absolutely fine. I used to use this brush. This is a really good like packer brush, and it's the Real Techniques 305. I'm just gonna take like a medium shade and just literally do what I used to do, and I can't, but this is literally what I used to do. I don't even know if I can remember, but I'm trying to remember. I wish I'd filmed myself once. Oh, this is so bad. In all fairness, like, it's so hard to do this because I can't remember. I would have just put it on like that and I wouldn't have blended it out because I wouldn't have known how to do that. So I wouldn't have used a transition shade. I would have used a lighter shade, of course, but I wouldn't have blended it. I would have just put it over the top. So that's exactly what I'm going to do with the same brush because I wouldn't have used another brush. Sometimes I'd just use a lighter shade like this and then use a darker shade just in the crease. But that's all I'm going to do. I didn't used to cut my crease. Or did I? No, I didn't. I used to just put shimmer in the middle. So I used to use my finger, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm using the shade Success. If you've got this palette, this is what it looks like. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. And I literally used to just like put it there. I don't even know how far. I think I just pop it on and then like go like that. But I'd always go back with the lighter shade on the top. Oh my gosh. I think that's literally all I used to do. So that is the, yeah. Then I would have used the same mascara as now, Maybelline Falsies. As bad as it was. And although I'm trying to use the same brush, the same technique I used to use, it's not as bad. Like, it's not, like, it's still, I wouldn't like wear it, but it's nowhere near like what I feel like it is what it used to look like, but maybe just my face has changed or something. It's just weird. Now I'm taking Hustle Lash by Isabella 5e or Mia Cosmetics. I figured out I should probably use the same lashes just to kind of make it fair. So I'm just going to let that dry, but I used to use the same lashes, so I thought I'd make it fair. What I find quite funny is, like, obviously my face has changed now, so it looks different anyway, but this is literally what it used to look like. As you can see in the clip, that it didn't take me very long to do my eyeshadow. Next, I would have just gone in with my Barry M concealer again, just a little bit. I didn't really do much, and I didn't do it above my brows either. I can't remember again what kind of brush I used, so I'm just going to use the same brush and not pat it because I didn't used to pat it. I'm just going to like swipe it, which is literally giving me anxiety because I hate that. Right, so that's that done, and then I would have gone in with my L'Oreal True Match foundation in the same shade I use now, thankfully. So this is 4DW, however, please note that I now have a tan. I didn't have a tan at the time, so it wouldn't have really matched. I would have had to go all the way down my neck. And I'm using my e.l.f. brush, which I actually used a similar brush to this at the time. And this is the bit I don't want to do because I went all the way on my face. I didn't do like the little area I do now. So this is literally the worst thing I can think of in the world. I literally went under my eyes with it. I'm trying to not pat it because that's all I do. I'm going to leave it there. and kind of do my lips, just so I can see the gap. Oh, it's so hard, like, not to do the same technique that you used to do. Like, it's so difficult because obviously you're trying to do what you do now, but I'm trying not to do that. So I think I just used to like swipe it around. Oh my god, I didn't used to use this. I used to use the beauty blender. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Oh, that's so annoying. So I've got my beauty blender. I literally got it right out. I bought a new one for this video. I got it right out there and I was like, I need to wash it, but I need to talk about it first. I'm actually so annoyed because it blends differently. I'm going to go and wash it and I'm going to carry on with the beauty blender. So it's washed and new and I'm really annoyed about that. I was thinking I used a brush like this, but then I was thinking, no, that was when I started makeup. So from 14 to 2019 November, because obviously I started makeup in the December, it was all beauty blender, so I'm literally so annoyed I forgot that, but it's fine. I did used to pat it in with a beauty blender because I feel like everybody does, but with a brush I used to swipe it. So that is that done. I hate the fact of doing it under my eyes more than anything, but that is what I used to do again. I'm going to try and do half a nose as well, which is quite difficult. That is the foundation. I don't think it looks that bad. It did look worse at the time. I'm now going to go back in with my Barrier concealer because I did actually do this. And I'd literally go like that. It's quite similar, but I didn't do there. So that is what I'd do. Again, I would use a beauty blender. I wouldn't use a brush. So let's go with that. I'm annoyed as well because I did my concealer to start with the beauty blender. So if I'd have done that, I would have maybe remembered. I didn't like really know what I was doing, so I just kind of do that. I presume that's how you do it. It's hard to do half a nose. That's harder than like half a lip. So that's literally it. Not a lot. And I wouldn't do anything else. I didn't use bronzer or contour because I didn't know how to do it. And in all fairness, credits to myself, I didn't want to go out the house with a streak of bronzer, which I couldn't blend. So I just decided to not do anything at all. I do actually feel like the foundation matches more than it used to, but that's the only one I ever used to use. And now I'm going in with a powder. Now I would have a separate sponge for this. I'm just going to use the end of this because, yeah, I would normally have a separate sponge for my powder and I'd go underneath my eyes with it, which is quite a good thing because I still kind of do that now. I wouldn't really bake. I just kind of make my whole face powdered like that. Then I would use this highlighter. This is the Makeup Obsession Mega Honey, and I used to use, what kind of brush? I think I just used to use a brush like this. It was a two-ended Real Techniques, but I'm just going to use this. And I can't do it in my circle. I'm going to have to like actually, this is how I used to do it. Oh my god, this is so bad. So highlighter, I'm going to try and build it, but I can't really. I know I did it like this, but I don't really know how much, so I'm just going to. I did always do my nose, bless myself, because I love doing my nose. And this side of the lip. Oh yeah, I'd always do this as well. Did anyone else do this? I'd always do my brow bone. Oh my god, how horrific. I'm actually embarrassed, like it wasn't that bad. I don't think I did it that high up, but maybe I did. I can't really make it look nice now, can I? So that is how I used to do it. Okay, it looks bad. That is that. Oh, can't cope. I didn't own a lip liner like I didn't own a contour or bronzer. So for lips, I would use one of these two. These are the Soap and Glory Plumps. I've got highlighter all over my hand. So I'm going to go in with the XL because I use that more. And so I don't remember using like a coloured lip gloss. I think it was just this clear. You need to put loads on as well. Obviously the other half isn't complete. That is the first half. And now we're going to go on to what I do now, which is a lot different. So to start with, I'm going to use my vitamin E spray. I don't know how I'm going to do this with this side like that. I don't think I used to set it either. Did I used to set my makeup? Oh my god, I used hairspray. I used to use hairspray. I'm not going to use hairspray today because I don't really want to do that to my skin. But I used to use hairspray on this side. It won't make a difference to how it looks, hence why I'm not going to use it. But that's what I used to do. So, I now also use my Clinique Dramatically Different moisturiser. I'm just going to use the same brush. I literally love this so much. My lips are really like tingling because of that plumper. I literally forgot. I'm now using Pink Honey Queen Bee Super Hold. Well, I've got highlighter on my rice cake. I'm just using a spoolie and collecting as much product as I can. But I feel like this makeup really didn't take me that long, but I remember sitting there for at least an hour and a half. Like, I'm not lying, I took longer to do my makeup then than I do now, but I don't know what it was. I think I'd take longer on my eyeshadow, you know, but the thing is, it would never turn out anything different than that. So maybe now I've just like, I just understand that it doesn't take that long. Very weird. I hate this highlighter. I feel like without the highlighter it's not as bad, but oh dear, I just can't. So now I'd go in with my P. Louise base in the shade 2, and I will carve out my brows as you've seen me do a million times, hence why I'm going to speed this bit up. And I most certainly will not be directly placing it onto my skin. I do actually feel like everyone's seen me do this as well with my eyeshadow, so I'm also going to speed this little bit up. I'm just using the Beauty Bay palette again. And I'm taking the shade Raw Sienna as normal. I'm buffing it right out, and I'm just going to speed it up just because I feel like I do this in most videos. I'm actually using the same shades as well. From the palette, I'm using Raw Sienna and Hazel, and that's exactly the only two I used on this eye. I obviously used Success in the middle for the shimmer, but I'm using a different shimmer today that's not in the palette, but for the actual two shades it shows you what a difference like you can make. when you know the right technique and you do it in a different way, it shows you that like the same palette can create completely different looks. Next I'm going in with my Jordan TCR Base and Sparkle. And this is in the shade Stargazer, so it's got a base on the top. And I'm going to use my finger because that is literally, I feel like, the best way. But I do with this, like, I wish I had that then, because I feel like it would have looked a lot better. And then in the bottom, you've got the sparkle. So I'm just going to tap that out. And as you can see, it's a lot more shimmery and glittery than the first one, because obviously the first one is just a shimmer out of a palette. And this is almost like it's made to shine. Then I'm going to put my lash on again, using the same mascara and the same lash, as this is a lash I would actually use. So I have actually filled in my brows on this side. It's so different how this looks to this. Like, it's honestly crazy. I feel like this is going to look so much better once I've carved the top of the brow. But it's just crazy how much it changes. I'm now going in with my NYX High Glass Face Primer in Sandy Glow. I'm just taking a stippling brush and patting it in. It's hard to know where the other half is now that I've already done it. I can't wait for you all to see the amazing difference. Obviously once I've applied everything. Just like look at this side and then look at this side. Just not it really, is it? So, taking my P. Louise base underneath my eyes, as it's such a flawless base under your eyes. Just applying it with the same brush, the Molly O'Brien Jim Bob. And obviously we'll pat it in. After, I just kind of want to apply it how I would. You all know that I don't go anywhere above here with my foundation, hence why I'm putting so much base on. Obviously here I just went everywhere with the foundation. I feel like the foundation is a good foundation, so obviously it doesn't show up to be bad, but I just genuinely, like, I do enjoy the foundation. I think it's a good foundation. And I use it all the time, but I just think I didn't really know how to highlight and conceal and contour the right places to make it work. So I've patted it in a tiny amount. I'm now taking my favourite concealer brush of all time. This is the Morphe M536, and it's honestly the best under eye concealer brush ever. As you can see here, everything's done with brushes apart from powder, whereas this side everything's done with a sponge apart from eyes. So that's my P. Louise base. Now I'm going in with foundation. I'm using the Morphe foundation and a little bit of the NYX Born to Glow, but a tiny amount. And I think, oh my god, that highlight's literally killing me. So I'm taking my PC06. This is my Peaches and Cream. How on earth am I going to contour my nose when the other half isn't contoured? like, can we just... I really like mixing foundations now as well. I feel like this foundation shade is actually my shade, but with a tan this shade is better. But it's all cool because we've got contour and we've got bronzer. I'm really like struggling how to like make it really obvious where the other half is. So I feel like I might have to go back over here just to make it really obvious. So I've left all of this clear with my base on. Now I'm going to go in with my concealer. This is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop, and I love this. This is under my eyes and pretty much everywhere. I find it very weird how I can't just like do what I'd normally do because I've only got half a face to work with. So I usually use my P. Louise brush. This is actually came with a black base which I use for smoky eyes, the Badder Back base. So obviously I don't think they sell this brush separately, but it's similar to one of the ones in the mirror and I just use that to cut the top of my brow. I'm going to blend in all my concealer, patting it into my skin so that it creates a flawless finish and a very full coverage one as well. I feel like it was so difficult to try and undo everything good I do. Like, look here. Even the foundation, like, I actually feel like this foundation gives a better coverage anyway. Right, next I go in with my contour. So I'm using the Maybelline Anti-Eraser in Deep Bronze. I'm using my favourite contour brush ever. I feel like it's really hard. Can you see like the definition here? You can't see it there because I've contoured. The nose contour is going to be a bit messy, a bit cool because I'm going to go in with my concealer again so it won't actually matter. So by contouring, it's making my face more defined, but I don't have to wear a darker shade foundation. Means I can create such a definition without it looking just one shade. Like, this is like really bringing out points of my face. This is so difficult because I can only do one half. Right, and then I'm going to go in with my bronzer. Well, I'm going to actually now going in with a bit of my NARS concealer that you know I all love to bits. While I put my bronzer on, this will set in under my eyes. It really creates the best under eye ever. So that here, I'm going to place a bit of bronzer just above that line and you'll see in a second. So I'm using my Morphe Glamour Bronze in Big Shot, in the tiniest amount. I'm really building it up. I don't want it to be like I've put loads on at once because although it might look like it right now, it would look a lot different if I had just chucked it all on. It's really important to build in really tiny stages. Olive here is going to be blusher. So obviously now my bronzer is going to start to blend with my eyeshadow. So it looks really seamless. Hey, we're back and we're at the part of the video where I announced the winner. So I'm going to pop it on screen now so you can see the screenshot of their Instagram handle. I'm going to pop the palette that they picked as well so you can all see. I'm super excited to order that and get that sent out to them because I just feel like it's such a cool giveaway. I've never seen anyone do this as well. Like, people have obviously said. So after all my concealer's blended, as you can see, I've done quite a defined bronze, but I haven't done like a big line all the way here, which is what I actually did once on this when I used to do makeup myself. I used to do it to like here. So I've left that. I now use my Kick-Ass Pressed Powder by Soap & Glory. I'm going to sort my nose out in a minute, but so I'm just going to take a fluffy brush and get as much of it. I'll pick a few things and I'll get them, but like to pick a palette and then like kind of end yourself, and that's really it. I feel like it's quite cool. I'm going to do some more of these videos, and yeah, good luck to anyone that's entering in the future. And I find this actually quite a hard challenge. I don't think I realised it's going to be so hard. So now, obviously done a little bit of bronzer, I'm going to go in with blusher. So I'm using the Milani Luminoso. I'm taking my Real Techniques brush. This is my favourite blusher brush ever. Congratulations to the winner because it's so deserved, and I'm so grateful for the support because obviously like you're watching this video to find out, but this means a lot that you're watching it. So yeah, can't wait to do more. Thanks to everyone who entered. I really enjoyed doing it, and that's it. Go and make sure to follow my Instagram for more giveaways. What a mess. So I've popped a bit of powder on my nose and I'm just gonna brush that off. It does actually look a lot more contoured in real life compared to this side. And now I'm going to take my highlighter. Can't wait for this bit. So I'm going to take my highlighter and I'm just going to pop a little bit on this fluffy brush. And this is how I now do highlighter compared to before. In a very defined place rather than all over the shop. You can actually see quite a lot of my blusher, which I love. It's so weird like how one half is one way and one half is another. I always do go over my highlights so it is more of a natural glow like that. And that is literally looks so matte now. And then my favourite bit, I'm going to go in with my lip pencil Vibes. Also remembering I need to go on one half. Added a bit more plump at the other side as well. Now I'm going to take my Doll Beauty lipstick in the shade FOMO. And really blend them shades together. Very hard to see when you've got like a weird clear lip on the other side. And then I'm going to go in with my gloss. If you look at it like that, it obviously looks nice. But looking at it like that, it looks horrific because obviously I've got the clear at the other side. I can't believe how this has turned out. I was so nervous to do this video. I thought, how on earth am I going to remember how I used to do it and then obviously do how I do it now. I now avoid putting colour underneath. I think having just a mascara is perfect. So that is it. lovely side. And then, yeah, I feel like the shimmer's quite equal, apart from this shimmer is a lot brighter. But I am really happy with how this has gone. I feel like it is a true reflection of how I used to do my makeup and how I do it now. I feel like it looks a lot better now, obviously. So I hope you agree. So I feel like I'm going to do my intros and outros like this because I actually like this side. But I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new about the difference of how I used to do it to how I do it now. I really enjoyed doing it. I feel like it was so weird doing it because this is how I used to do it. Like, this was my whole life for about 3 years. So now this is what I do now, but this is only like the last few months. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. That's all from me. Go and check out my other videos, which should be somewhere on the screen now. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!